GYMDAD Fitness. Welcome back to the channel here, and we have our first protein review. And gosh, it has to be. I think the last one I did was Chemex by the Gorilla Chemist, and that one was a loaded one. And we also did a supplement hunt protein as well, a nice little clearance bin discount find. And this is a Jack's Nutrition isolation here. Isolate. We have flavors are the Nella wafers and peanut butter and jelly. And as you can see, I absolutely love the Johnny Bravo looking fella. If 90s kids rejoice here, if you are a 90s kid, this should bring back some good nostalgic memories. And I don't know, while we're on the topic of Johnny Bravo, I don't know if did it ever frustrate any of you guys back in the day when you'd watch Johnny Bravo and you never get the damn girl? It's like, come on, he was a little obnoxious and stuff, but in his heart, he was a good dude. And it always used to bug me that like he always got denied. I was like, come on, look at that bicep peak. But this is Johnny's cousin, because if you remember, Johnny had blonde hair. This guy's got either that he dyed it and he started hitting the weights just to change changing his style, his look. And anyway, I love the way what these guys are doing. This is Jack's Nutrition. Reviewed their BCAs. It all depends on time of posting, if this is going to be before or after. But if I haven't posted that one yet, there'll be a BCA one, which is loaded. Has the big three: valine, isoleucine, leucine, 6 essentials, and then also hydration matrix and delicious taste. And then we did the Jacked Up pre-workout here. And then I have one more of theirs. I'm not sure if I have it up here with me right now. Yes, here it is. So we did, this is the Jacked Up Turbo. And then we have just their regular flagship Jacked Up that we'll be reviewing as well. This is one of those companies that seems like everything they put out is like straight gold. Like the taste is amazing. The label designs are awesome. I love how unique it is. It kind of reminds me of the early stages of Alpha Lion. Alpha Lion got really big, and I don't like how they I know they wanted the consistency among the labels, but I don't like how they just started doing the exact same label for everything. Back in the day, they used to be really creative. They had like Komoda Pump and like Unicorn Gains or some shit for their branch chains, and now it's just like Superhuman this, Superhuman that, Superhuman. You know, they just kind of capitalized on the flagship name of their pre-workout bit. This is a regular Jacked Up. We did the Turbo, but this is the protein review. And like I said, we'll kick it off. I've already tried both of these ones multiple times with post-workout, and let's get straight into the label. I'll tell you the differences too. There's a slight difference in label between the two, and see which one's for you. So anyway, 1 scoop, 28 grams, or 28 servings. And the pricing point, so this is a straight isolate, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But if I recall right, I'll put it up, a picture of what it will be after the code. But it still falls below, if I remember right, it still comes kind of below the kind of like top of the line proteins I think of are ones like Alpha Lion, Superhuman. And then also, there's like obviously like NutriBio's up there too at the tops. I'm trying to think of the other really loaded one I've always really enjoyed. Oh, Panda. I always really enjoyed the Panda protein. I know I think they have a new one now that doesn't have the probiotics and digestive enzymes and stuff in it. I think it might be a little bit lower on the pricing scale, but I've always enjoyed their first original protein. Also delicious flavors in those. So these ones, 1 scoop has 35 grams of total grammage and 28 servings per scoop, 130 calories. I'm looking at the more caloric dense one. I'll tell you the difference afterward. 120 on the other one. Fat 1 gram, carbs 4 grams. Total sugars, there's 3 in this one, and this is the difference right here. 1 in this one, it's the candy bits. It's the jelly bits in this one. And protein 26 grams, and this one has 1 less, 25 in this one. So another thing, I don't know why they adjusted the protein a little bit there. And then you got your vitamin D, calcium, iron, phosphorus, magnesium, chloride, sodium, potassium, kind of like your standard, that come along with just consuming the protein. And then I do enjoy at the very bottom. This is always a huge win when they tell you the actual yield of protein. And so they're giving you 28.409 in each of these ones. So they each yield the same amount of protein. So I don't know why. That means fucking 1 gram, but 26 grams, 25 grams, but the yield's the exact same. Isolate whey protein. This is isonized whey protein 90%. at 28.409 milligrams, 28.409 or 28.409 milligrams for each of those. So at least they give you the breakdown on how we go ahead and yield that thing out. And then the keys with this one is that obviously there's a few more grams of sugar, and this is due to the candy bits. They have a strawberry crunch in this one. So another thing too, if you're expecting, I was kind of expecting like the PB&J, the grape and peanut butter. Another thing is it's got the kind of strawberry, and I'll go over the flavor and how it is. But all in all, so the another thing that I look for when I'm looking at a protein is, okay, so we got a pure isolate. It tells us the yield. That's a plus. That's checks one of my boxes, and then checks two actually because it's low in sugar. It's a pure isolate, and then also gives you the yield. And then I look and see if there's any digestive enzymes, and then I see how it's sweetened. So no digestive enzymes going on here. The isolates should digest pretty well, and also no like velocitol. That's one of the ones that was really popular in some of the loaded pre's or proteins. I know we saw velocitol in the Chemex one. I think velocitol was also in Superhuman's protein, if I remember. Either that or they just had a digestive enzyme. But I always kind of like something kind of like digestive assistance. But with a straight isolate, we should be all right here still. It's not going to be a deal breaker, but sometimes you can utilize that to kind of justify paying a little steeper cost. But this does fall below a lot of those proteins that do include items like that. So that's another takeaway for this one. But let's get into the flavor. So, and this is sweetened with sucrose. So another thing too, it's not a deal breaker for me. But if they use monk fruit or stevia, that's a huge plus. Also, very, very potent, strong smell with the peanut butter. It's like I wouldn't say it's like appetizing, the potent smell of it. So just be wary if you do get the peanut butter one that you're gonna get kind of blown away. It's like the peanut butter smell is extremely, extremely stout when you open that thing up. So but it's not like a bad smell at all. Just it's like a little bit of a chemical peanut butter smell. But we'll see if the taste goes along with it. And I've already had this one before, so I kind of know what I'm expecting here. And there is like candy bits. What I do enjoy about these candy bits, let me grab something. So I didn't end up doing a review on it, but I had America Labs Patriot Whey. And these ones had candy bits. And these candy bits, they should proceed with caution because they were freaking massive. Like, I don't know who they expected to be eating this. Like, they wanted you to get your spoon out and eat it like a bowl of cereal. But this one had the s'mores, and this was the smaller pieces. But I had Lucky Charms, and they were just massive chunks of marshmallow, and like 40 pieces of marshmallow per scoop, like 9 grams of sugar. Just overkill. And then they had a Cinnamon Toast Crunch one, and it was actually like full on pieces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I couldn't even drink the thing down. I had to like stop and like chew it every sip. And so the candy pieces are not as aggressive in this one, so they're not going to bug you. It reminds me of here we go again with the Alpha Line comparison, but it kind of reminds me of some of those ones they used. Like I had an orange creamsicle one where they put little orange pieces in there. And so there's little jelly pieces, but remember, this is strawberry crunch, so it's going to have kind of more of a strawberry. And it's actually really, the flavor was really awesome. I would probably say peanut butter is such a like an overpowering flavor, and especially with the smell when I opened it, I was getting ready to get like smacked with peanut butter. Like it is potent. Like if you jam your nose up to it, like it's very chemically like smell, but just don't get too concerned when you open it. The taste is a lot better than what the smell is. I don't know what it causes that but the peanut butter is probably like 40% and 60% strawberry crunch. To be honest, it kind of reminded me more of, I couldn't put a finger on it after taking it with just once. This is what's kind of nice about using these a few times before reviewing, especially when flavor is actually very important for stuff like this, is it I almost think it tastes more like Captain Crunch, just the standard regulation Captain Crunch with the mixed berries in it. It kind of has that like a little berry taste to it, but it's like Captain Crunch with a mix of peanut butter. It's like you kind of got this like salty sweet combo, but it's like 60% strawberry jelly kind of fruity mixed berry flavor, and then like 40% peanut butter, which is very unique because usually peanut butter is so overpowering. And then next we will sample the vanilla wafers, and I feel like this one might be the more popular one just because it's not out there on the flavor. I think the PB&J is kind of one if you want to get a little crazy. I liked it a lot. It was different, it was good, but like obviously I wouldn't go buying 15 of them. But the vanilla wafer one has a little bit less sugar, which, you know, people, it does add up. Like sometimes, like, oh, you think, oh, 3 grams versus one. It's like sometimes that can be through like slightly in between. But so this has a little bit less sugar. Um, just that's the only difference between the two. And it does have little pieces of the cookie crunches in here as well. And they're not like the aggressive ones like America Labs that damn near choke you, bringing it down. And this is just mixed with water. I've done these with milk as well. Obviously, it's just more creamy. But most of the time, it's just gonna be with water. And this one, let me get you the smell tester real quick. A little more pleasant in the smell. It's not like absolutely delicious, blow you away. They both kind of have a slight chemically smell to them. But don't worry at either. The taste is not gonna be a chemical taste whatsoever. Both of them are very kind of natural tasting, like breakfasty kind of vibe. But I really enjoyed the vanilla wafer. That's probably my favorite. I mean, it tastes like it. Tastes exactly like it. I mean, honestly, if you have to knock it a little bit, it almost kind of has a taste like the vanilla wafers, as like, you know, when you left them in a Ziploc bag before, you know, they're fresh out of the box. They have that like just 100% purity taste. These ones taste like they were put in a Ziploc bag for lunch. They're still pretty delicious, but they have like a slight like chemically taste to them just from like being in the plastic bag all day. If I have to dock it a little bit at all, that's the only thing to it, but I still enjoyed it. It was still really good. Yeah, it just had that slight little bit taste to it. But overall, you know, isolates are very key for me. I honestly, the protein I normally only buy these days is isolate. I don't really do much blends. If I'm gonna have a blend, it's gonna be because I'm on like I can't get actual food in my system at that time. Like, you know, I'm working or traveling or something like that. But most of the time, real food always wins. Just remember that if you're watching these reviews on proteins, is don't overcomplicate things. Real food is always the champion. But post workout isolate is central for me just because it gets to the bloodstream quick. I've bounced around. Sometimes I've done like carbohydrate drinks, like a dextrose and orange juice mix to get the fructose and high quick acting carbohydrates in my system, like right after the workout. And then like 30 minutes later, I'll drink like the isolate shake. And then sometimes it's just isolate shake. It's just kind of based upon, so you got to be the research eventually. I've mentioned this a few times in other reviews. There's always new things coming out. Like, do you really need a post-workout shake? You know, is other, you know, carbohydrate drinks better for you post-workout? But you gotta eventually kind of play with it yourself and see what works best. But I've always been a long-term fan of an isolate. They digest easy. It's a great way to, you know, get protein to the bloodstream quick, especially as I've had kids and it's tough for me to get home and like get food in my system right away, because usually I'm getting home and I'm like, oh shit, I got to change a dirty diaper, I got to get a kid down for bed. So sometimes it's like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes, you know, up to an hour before I can even get a meal in me afterward. So this is essential for me, especially if I'm tearing it down on a long Saturday workout or something like that. But all in all, love the Jax protein. They nailed it. I love the label design too. There's not often I kind of see a protein and be like, I gotta get that one. That is awesome. That needs to be on the shelf. But obviously, I'm a sucker for like some of these labelings that kind of cash in on the nostalgia of like 90s kids. And I was a big Johnny Bravo fan, so they won me over with that one. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be Johnny Bravo, but to me, that's what he is right there. But like, subscribe, catch some more reviews. Hopefully we have some more Jax products. I obviously, as I've told you, the BCA is either before or after, and then the Jaxed Up pre-workout will be on there here soon as well. But huge fan of this brand. Love the small brands like this that are, they also have really cool attire. As you can see, I got this shirt right here up in display, and I have another one that's like an American flag style one, and they have this really badass like pinstripe jersey. So like if you go to their website, definitely check out. I always like to find like unique attire, especially if small gym brands. I want no one in the gym to know what the hell it is, and if they do, they're like all fucking like immediately a friend, because I know they know their shit. If like, you know, someone recognizes it's one of the gym brands I'm wearing. And anyway, awesome company. I'm ranting on about these guys, but like, subscribe, check out their stuff, and I'll catch you on the next review.